Well, hello, YouTube people. This is my first review of anything on the internet. Reason I'm doing the review, when I was researching on what kind of hybrid that I wanted, I couldn't find anything on this bike. So I figured, okay, I'll do a review, hopefully helping anybody out there considering this bike. So this is a 2018 Kona Big Dew. It's a 59 size frame, which is the biggest frame they have. I'm 6'4", so I needed that size. There are a few modifications to the bike that we did, which I'll show you as we go along. The bike itself is kind of designed more for commuting, some street, some trails, as like gravel type trails. We have a lot of rails to trails, they call it around here, which are basically old rail lines that they ripped up the trail and just put gravel there. So it's not really your hardcore mountain bike paths, but they're nice rides. So this is what kind of like the bike I wanted. You'll notice that the tires when we get to it are not really mountain bike type tires as far as the traction goes. They're more of a street tire. So anyhow, as I said, it's a Kona Big Dew, 27 speed. Car going by making noise. This was the best location because of the sun. But anyhow, so yeah, 27 speed, has hydraulic disc brakes, Shimano's. I'm sure they have some kind of numbers attached to them, but I'm not sure what they are. The shifters are Shimano Acera, which I think is like the second one's up. So it's not really high-end stuff, but they'll do the job that I want it to do. 27 speed. The tires, which was kind of important to me when I was looking. Most of the hybrids you find have smaller width tires. Most of them were like 35s. So when I test rode one, it felt really solid, especially going from a mountain bike, which has bigger tires, so you get that cushioned feel. I did test ride one with a suspension fork. Really didn't like that. It just felt bulky to me. Even though it was cushiony, it just felt bulky. I didn't like the bulky feel. So I wanted to go with a tire that would give me a little more cushion, but yet still have a nice road feel. So as I say, those are 700 by 50. I think they're Kendra is the name of the tire. And you can find out that on the Kona site. You notice that I do have clipless pedals on it. They're Shimano clipless, single-sided. Get a little close-up of them. It's my first time using clipless pedals. Most part I really like them, other than the first day with this bike. It made it kind of tricky when I stopped and realized I hadn't unclipped, so I kind of just tipped over. Didn't hurt the bike, didn't hurt me, just hurt my pride. Thankfully nobody was looking. The other additions, as I mentioned, I'm 6'4", so the handlebars were too low for me to get in a comfortable position. So what the guys at Cyclesmith did, if you notice the stem, there's a riser. This riser probably goes up, I'm guessing 6 inches. So the boys put that on free, so raised me up a little bit there. And if you also notice the handlebars, they have a little bit of a rise to them too. Again, I think they added like another 2 inches of height, because when you're 6'4", you kind of need to be comfortable on the bike. The other addition was the grips. That was an $85 addition. I like these grips, not so much from a climbing standpoint, which I think what they were really designed for. I like them because it gives me a secondary hand position, even a third, because you can kind of go to the tops if you want to. So if you're doing a longer type ride, you just get to move your hands, which is kind of a nice feeling. You see my cell phone holder. I can't go anywhere without that. The other addition on the bike would be the seat. I'm sure it has a brand name. I forget what it is. Oh, it's a Cell Royale. It's better than the seat that comes on it in that it has cushioning. The part, it doesn't have the full suspension, which I really kind of get, which was on my old bike, which I liked the feel, but I didn't like the look. It just looked really bulky. So this seat kind of has a cross between the two. It's not as cushiony, but it's better than the regular seat for my 55-year-old butt. Other than that, the bike is great. Had it out, probably put 100 kilometers on it last week, trying to get lots of riding in. I actually like it better on the road than the trails, because if it gets really rocky on the trails, the tires tend to dig a little bit. And if you look at the tire, a close-up of the tire. Here, I'll give you a close-up. It's not really a good tire for leaning over if you're in gravel or anything like that. So there's a ride here called Shuby Park. Not a big fan of doing the corners fast with these tires. But I do the ride, I just make sure I don't do the corners as fast as I normally would. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Probably my first and last. If you have any questions, just give me a shout out. Take care, guys.